Next up, in my continuing coverage of Ghostbusters 2, we've got a couple of commercials from Hardee's. These are fragments only, I apologize. One of them is for their Happy Meal toys, including this Ecto-1, and this guy, who apparently was called Goo-E Ghost, according to the unused sticker labels there. And the other was for these Ghost Zapper items, which were quickly recalled because the button cell batteries in there can be aspirated. If you don't know what aspirated means, look it up. Now 3 of these actually still have the protective thing in there, so let's see if they work. Awesome. From the summer of 1989. Enjoy.
And fast as an ectomobile, you can collect all 4 at Hardee's before they disappear.
Believe it. Remember, guys, only we've got what every Ghostbuster wants. Chicken sticks?
Ghostbusters!
Who are you gonna call? When you see a ghost, blast.
I don't see any ghosts.
See? It works. I ain't afraid of no ghosts.
They're here!
Okay, let's cook.
Collect all 4 Ghost Blasters, only at Hardee's.
Boy, in the summer of 1989, they were shoving Ghostbusters 2 down our throat, and I did my best at 19 years of age to record every one of them for you onto this single VHS tape.
In the neighborhood, new Slimer ghosts, fruit-flavored oats. Ghostbusters with milk and juice and toast. A complete breakfast with the ghosts. Ghostbusters!
If you liked Ghostbusters the movie, you'll love the real thing. You can win a trip to the real Ghostbusters headquarters, bring a friend, and meet a real Ghostbuster.
Ghostbusters!
Look for the record in specially marked boxes of Ghostbusters Cookie Crisp and Diner Sodas.
It's the first entry to spin off this summer's blockbuster movie boom.
The young player is interested in action-type games.
1-800-USA-2525.
Fujifilm's Ghostbuster 2 movie sweepstakes. Enter where you buy Fujifilm and get these prizes just for buying Fujifilm.
This is a real quick, real mysterious piece about salaries and Methacel. Enjoy.
Ghostbusters holds the title as top-grossing comedy of all time. It made more than $30 million. Now the Ghostbusters are back and ready to nuke the spooks.
I always knew that there was more than one story. Even when writing the first one, I was thinking of, well, if they do this, they could do this, this, and this. And
the superstars of the supernatural are so sure the sequel will be a smash, they've forfeited upfront fees for a piece of the profits. All agree the secret behind their success is this stuff, Methacel, a biodegradable jelly laced with food coloring. Ghostbusters 2 globs up 100,000 gallons of it. And while the Ghostbusters fight slime, Mel Gibson and
box office this weekend. The film's opening was explosive enough to finally knock Batman out of the #1 position.
Hold on.
While Batman's wings may have been clipped, the Caped Crusader is still flying high in the #2 position. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids is hardly shrinking at the theaters. The Disney film is holding its own at #3. Sliming its way onto the list at #4, the ghoulish sequel Ghostbusters 2. Rounding out the top weekend.
In the summer of 1989, several studios had big blockbusters in competition, and Dan Aykroyd was gracious enough to do a little cameo in Mel Gibson's unauthorized video diary of Lethal Weapon 2. Enjoy.
Oftentimes, you'll have 2 films in production, some maybe at Paramount, maybe Warner Brothers, maybe Universal, in competition for a release date for the summer, say. And it's not unheard of for a hired hand or even an actor from another set to come over and try and throw a spanner in the works to slow production down.
I don't take bribes. It's not going to work.
They are paying you so little, man. What, $5,000? I mean, I have it right here.
Can't work to do
Yeah, I'm looking for him right now, yeah. I'll be right on the stage in a minute. Yeah, just how soon is it going to happen? Quiet! Quiet! Hold the work! Hold the work! So what's going to happen? Over here. Let me just... On the bell. Action, Mel!
Okay.
First I back up, then I come forward. Back up, then come forward. Check. Hey, I thought I saw someone over there feeding. I threw that. I'm sick of this kind of abuse. I had that happen. This is what I mean about industrial espionage. Guys will show up. This kind of thing going on all the time. No wonder I have to carry a weapon. What a business.
Didn't kill him, but it'll slow things down for a couple of weeks, hopefully. Every little bit helps.
Well, unfortunately, when you're Bill Murray or Dan Aykroyd, you go on The Tonight Show, you get Johnny Carson. But when you're Ernie Hudson, you only get Jay Leno.
3 days before it was to happen, she started having pains. Ooh. And I said, you know, honey, you sure you're okay? She said, don't worry, it's just Braxton Hicks is not real, don't worry about it. And then she kept having pains, and I started timing them. Like every 5 minutes she was having pains. I said, you know, we probably should go down to the hospital just to kind of double check, just in case, you know. She said, no. She said, no, it can't happen now. So she starts to cry. She said, it can't happen now because it's not coming until Monday, and I can't have the baby until Monday. And so she goes upstairs and locks herself in the room. Now, I live 100 miles away from Santa Monica. Yeah. So I'm saying, honey, you know, so her father was there, and he's very straight, you know, logical person. He talked to her, and she wouldn't come down. She wouldn't get in the car. And so he looked at me like, what have you done to my daughter? Like, I'm responsible. So finally we talk her into getting in the car. I drive what takes about 2 hours. I drive in 17 minutes and 45 seconds. And the baby was born like 20 minutes after we got to the hospital.
So you made it?
We made it, yeah. It's, little boy, Ross, great kid. Great.
Oh, that's great. Good, yeah. Good kid. I mean,
yeah, very fast. Very fast.
And he's a great kid. He's keeping out of trouble, keeping his nose clean.
Yeah,
good.
He's you know, he's in a gang now, and no.
Now, how long ago? The baby's what?
The baby's 2 months. I think he's 2 months old now.
Yeah. Now you live in Lake Arrowhead. Now why? I would think as an actor you've got to be.
Well, I thought so, but most of the work I've been doing is on location. And you know, to be perfectly honest, when I did the first Ghostbusters, I had a listed number. And what people would do, they'd see the movie, and then they look up my phone number, and they call me. I get these calls every time of night. And then I became like the local tourist attraction. I mean, people would come to my house, and they'd knock on the door, and I'd open the door, and they said, see, I told you he's the guy. Aren't you the guy in the movie? See, I told you he's the guy in the movie. And they come in and look around, come over to the house, and I thought, wait a minute. It's time to move. So we moved out.
So you moved out there. So, but I would think you'd be a bigger celebrity in a small town, right?
Well, up there, it's a small town, about 2,000 people. We went to the elementary school, and the kids wear coveralls. And it's nice.
Some janitorial school they go to?
And then, you know, the funny thing is, I have two older sons who are now adults. I mean, they've grown up, and there's a lot of things in L.A. that you try to avoid.
Right.
And so the oldest son, I said, look, you got to go to college. You can't get caught up in this stuff. You got to go. And he finally got into the engineering program at Michigan State, which is great. Came home after the first year, painted his walls black in his room. Didn't talk to me for 3 months. And I kept looking at the calendar saying, he's going back to school soon. And when it came time to go to school, his friends started calling him Tough Turf. He changed his name.
Tough Turf?
From Ernie Hudson to Tough Turf. And he said, you know, I thought about it, Dad, like this engineering thing, I don't think that's what I want to do. I said, well, what are you going to do? He says, well, I'm going to get into breakdancing. Now, this is a person you spent a lot of money on. I mean, it takes a lot of money to raise a kid. So, but he did eventually go back to school, and he's doing very well.
Breakdancing thing did not work out?
No, he's actually teaching martial arts now. So, yeah. In fact, he called me, he said, Dad, I got to see, it's really important. So I flew up to San Francisco where he lives. And he said, I'm broke. I said, yeah, you called me up here to say you're broke. He said, I have no money, I'm tired of being broke. So I said, well, yeah. Okay. Anything else? I'm going. So, but he's fine. The kids are fine.
Good. Well, being a martial artist, you better come across with the dough, I imagine.
Yeah, I know. It's like he's bigger than I am. It's like, whoa.
His father knows best. Yeah. Now, you raised 2 teenage boys pretty much as a single parent, right? I know that.
Yeah, after the first marriage broke up, the kids came to live with me. I hadn't planned it that way, but that's how it worked out.
Sounds like a sitcom.
Yeah, it got a little strange. Actually, the roles kind of reversed. Suddenly, they become the parent, and I became the kid, and I guess they probably raised me as much as I raised them. You know.
Now, you're in the service too, right?
I went to the Marine Corps. I was in the Marine Corps. You know, when you finish high school, you get all these flyers and brochures from the different branches of the service. And the Air Force and the Navy and the Army sent these like green and dull blue posters, and the Marine Corps sent these bright blue and this dress uniform they have. And I thought, this is what I want to be in. I got to get in that. You know, I'm going to wear that uniform, and I'm going to travel the world, meet women. It's great. So I joined the Marine Corps, and it was so nice to me. And then they flew me to San Diego, and these were the nastiest people in the world. I couldn't believe it. They were so nasty. It was like a nightmare, you know? And so one day we had to eat shrimp, and the drill instructor said, you have to eat it. I said, well, I'm allergic to it. He said, eat it anyway. So I ate it, and I had this awful asthma attack, and they took me to the hospital. And then every day I started having asthma attacks. Now, I'm not saying that it was deliberate, okay?
No, that would
But
be
I
wrong.
had asthma attacks, and finally the doctor came to me and said, you know, Hudson, everybody can't be a Marine. He says, I'm afraid we're going to have to discharge you. Now, I was so happy, but I couldn't show him that. I was so happy, and I wanted to scream that the tears started to come in my eyes. And he was so hurt because I was hurt. And we're both sitting there crying because I'm leaving.
You couldn't be a Marine.
That's when I knew I'd be an actor.
There you go. Let's take a look. We got time to show the... We got time to see the clip? Let's see this is a clip from Ghostbusters.
Oh, the clip from
too.
Ghostbusters.
Yeah,
Great.
let's see what this is. Next time.
Nice going, Ray. What are you trying to do, drown me? Oh, yeah, I said it more like it was my fault. That you were too stupid not to drop that glove line. Stupid? Hey, you better watch your mouth. I'll put your lights out. Oh, yeah? Yeah. Well, any time. All right. Come on. Right now. It's go time, man. I want you bad. Grab me fast. Wait. Wait. Stop. Get your hold up. Oh, dear, Ray. What are we doing? I was ready to kill you.
It's the stuff. It's like pure concentrated evil.
It's all flowing right to the spot.
Which one were you?
And another one will be for the recalled Ghost Blasters. These were little... These, still have 3.